So as students make the handle body, they tend to get confused there. The main problem is this, where they're breaking this edge, where they're rounding over this edge. All right, if we think about how this is really made, they put it in a lathe, they turn it around really fast, and then they took a cutting tool into the side, and then they basically round over that edge. All right, the place where people get really confused is when they'll make this U-shaped part, and then they will put a plane right in the middle, and then they will try to do this shape. All right, because most people understand that it's going to have to be done with the revolve, but they try to put this shape into a sketch that's right here in the middle on a plane, and that's wrong. Okay, it's a good approach, but it's wrong because if you look at this 4375, you will notice that the point that it's the furthest back, the point this is referring to, is on this corner. All right, and if you draw the sketch here and go 4375 back, you're not going back far enough in the item. So what we need to do, all right, and I'll do this very, very quickly, is we need to make a plane through the two corners and then draw our revolve cut sketch on there. So let's go back to our back to Inventor. You'll see that I have stolen this from a student that was at this spot, and I said, hey, make me a copy. All right, from here we're going to go to plane, click the down arrow, and that allows us to pick different types of ways to construct the plane. This time we're going to do through two coplanar edges, so we're going to pick our two coplanar edges, which happens to be the two corners. When we pick the two corners, now we have a lovely plane through the middle of the part. All right, I'm going to click, I'm going to go edit sketch, bring it into where I can see it, and then now if I start drawing, I'm not going to be able to see it, so let's right click and say slice graphics. I always look for the F7, that's the easier way for me to find that, slice graphics. And now I've cut this in two, and I can see where I'm going to be drawing. All right, so the first thing we got to do, we got to find the middle point of our part. All right, and then we're going to go up, and then we're going to go out. And this is what's going to turn into our revolve. All right, so from there we have these two parts, there are two lines here. Let's go back to our sketch for just a second. The other part that people get really, really confused on is they forget that there's a flat that's 1 inch, 313 thousandths here. So that's why I went up. All right, and we'll put the dimension in here. So from this point to the middle, 1 inch, 3125 divided by 2, because it's only half of that. So that will make our flat on the front of this. All right. Now we have to go back a certain distance. All right. So I'm going to put a line in here from the end of this because we know, and then I'm going to tie it to that, and then I can make this construction line. That will give me a nice convenient way to say, you know what, I want this to be 0.4375. Is that what they had on over here? Yes. All right. And then that will we will use that for our revolve cut. We'll go line, and so I like to extend my cuts outside the body of the object. It just makes the math a lot easier. It doesn't get confused because the two lines overlap exactly. So I like to go beyond, then I'll come over, and then I'll go down, and then I'll come back, and that will also set up my axis to revolve with. All right, so if I finish the sketch, and then I will go ahead and use the revolve command, automatically pre-selects it because it's closed surface. Now I just need to pick my axis. Pick the axis, I'm going to tell it to cut, and when I do that, voila, we have the end of that part that gives everybody so much difficulty. All right, go into your work plane, turn visibility off, and then it looks super. All right, so hopefully this helps you guys.